I'm Nicole Martin, and you're watching Trending Now. Tonight on the show, we're talking all things Thanksgiving, from the rising cost of hosting due to inflation to the way the holiday has taken over social media and pop culture. Plus, Kanye West is back in the news yet again. We'll tell you why he's been locked out of a couple social media accounts.
What makes me happy is connection, and it helps me get out of my head.
And it's World Mental Health Day. To mark it, Selena Gomez just dropped the trailer for her new documentary. Well, we've been following along with the social trends of the day, and we see what you've been talking about. It's all things Thanksgiving and being #grateful. While big holidays like Halloween and Christmas usually get all the movies and songs, Thanksgiving has been featured in a few famous moments in pop culture, and tonight we're taking a look back. Like Steve Martin and John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, many Canadians across the country gathered with loved ones to celebrate Thanksgiving and give thanks for blessings from the past year.
Gobble, gobble.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying Thanksgiving is a time to celebrate the harvest season. It's a chance to be there for one another and recognize the people who make a difference in our lives.
It seems Thanksgiving Day is upon us.
If you've jumped on social media in the past 24 hours, you'll know that's a fact, as feeds have been inundated with the #Happy Thanksgiving posts, from athletes to the Trailer Park Boys and other celebs.
Eat so much food on Thanksgiving Day.
And of course, politicians.
I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, and we have so much to be thankful here in our great province of Ontario.
Social media has been filled with fall colors. Canadians are seemingly obsessed with the changing leaves.
Oh my gosh. Orange, you glad it's fall?
And the Thanksgiving posts go hand in hand with all things pumpkin spice.
Girl, I'm stressed, but blessed. And pumpkin spice obsessed.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner will be served in 10 minutes. Excuse me.
When it comes to the main festivities, some families are getting together for the first time in months or quite possibly years. It could prompt that response because there are bound to be, well, shall we say, interesting topics around the table.
I am so thankful to have you all here today.
I am thankful that I only burned the turkey a little bit. I'm sorry, you gang.
And when things turn awkward,
No, talking about Thanksgiving.
Saturday Night Live has showed that Adele can just unite us all.
Holy cow.
Listen, if all else fails, just keep eating.
You are my Everest.
If Joey taught us anything in Friends,
I just gotta change my pants. What was I thinking? Jeans have no give.
it all comes down to the right Thanksgiving attire.
Joey, those are my maternity pants.
No, these are my Thanksgiving pants.
With the rising cost of groceries, be sure to share the Thanksgiving duties.
I'll do the turkey. Ashley, you do the cranberry sauce. Carlton, you do the stuffing. Hillary, you do the yams and the rolls.
Oh, I get two things? Why don't you just put a yoke around my neck and hitch me to a plow?
And hopefully your dinner was more successful than Thanksgiving with the Banks.
Hillary, did you check the yams?
For what?
Oh my God.
But this year, burning the yams would cost you a pretty penny. The cost of a classic roast turkey dinner with all the fixings like stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, green beans, pumpkin pie, and beverages now comes in at a total cost of $203.95 for a family of four with some leftovers. According to figures gathered from Statistics Canada and grocery retailers, that's up about 12% from last year. It marks the fastest increase in grocery prices since 1981. Double-digit food inflation pushed up the cost of just about everything from turkey to potatoes. Dalhousie University food professor Sylvain Charlebois joins us with more on this. Professor, from your studies leading up to this big day, can you tell us a bit about your poll and just how many Canadians have adjusted their Thanksgiving plans, all due to the cost of food?
Well, the majority actually are sticking to their plans. They will be buying the turkey. They'll be buying potatoes. They'll just follow traditions. But there is a quarter of Canadians, 23% of the population that are actually making menu adjustments as a result of higher food prices. Turkey is up 15-16%. Potatoes are up 22%. And I mean, a typical Thanksgiving meal will cost you probably 15 to 20% more to make compared to last year. So people are absolutely noticing.
Well, you listed a couple of foods there, but was there a particular one that jumped out the most this year in terms of price?
So potatoes are actually on that list, but pumpkin pie filling. So if you're an apple crisp fan, you're fine. But if you're a big pumpkin pie fan, you'll notice that pumpkin pie filling is up almost 30% compared to last year. That's a lot. And so people have noticed that. They've posted on social media different pictures of cans and prices. And so, yeah, to actually make a pumpkin pie this year, it's actually going to cost you more.
Professor Charlebois, how have Canadians adjusted this year? Did some just opt out of some dishes or change the menu a little bit?
The focus has been on animal protein. So the turkey itself, people may have just bought a smaller bird, a small turkey, or they've opted for a cheaper protein like ham or chicken. But the other thing that we're noticing more and more, since we've been in this situation for quite a long time, people have actually adapted and have adopted new habits. People are asking guests to bring some food to organize a Thanksgiving potluck. It's actually quite appropriate for people to do that because most people actually absolutely understand how expensive it is these days to host.
That is something to keep in mind for the future. And speaking of, do you anticipate food inflation to remain for the next big holiday season this winter? We think that food inflation has peaked somewhat. We're looking forward to see numbers for the month of September coming up in a couple of weeks, but we do believe that things have calmed down a little bit. They're more predictable, and which is helping the food industry overall. So we're not expecting major hikes for the next little while, and so for 2023, we are currently working on our forecast for next year with Canada's food price report, which will be released on December 7th. We are expecting so far a much calmer 2023, but stay tuned. Hey, some good news to end off our interview. Thank you so much for your time tonight on this holiday Monday, Professor Charlebois.
My pleasure.
Canadian Thanksgiving may not be as big as our neighbors south of the border, but it's a holiday we've celebrated in the country for more than 140 years.
I'm sorry, did you just say Canadian Thanksgiving was, and I'm quoting, the real Thanksgiving? What do Canadians even have to celebrate about?
Canadian Thanksgiving celebrates explorer Martin Frobisher's valiant yet ultimately unsuccessful attempt to find the Northwest Passage.
Why are you guys even a country?
Rude. Well, the writers of How I Met Your Mother actually nailed it. Canadian Thanksgiving was first officially celebrated in 1879, although Indigenous peoples have been honoring the fall harvest long before that. Today, Canadian Thanksgiving is held on the second Monday of October every year, or at least it has been since Canadian Parliament declared it back in 1957. Even though Americans don't celebrate Thanksgiving until November, there are some things that are consistent across cultures.
Thanksgiving in Canada is just like Thanksgiving in the United States. It's a time for friends and family to get together and eat some food and be thankful for all the good stuff.
Huh, you don't say. So you all have candied yams with marshmallows as well?
No, that's gross. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Well, that does sound gross, but we wanted to hear from you, our audience, today. We asked you on Twitter how you were spending the Thanksgiving holiday. The majority of you said you're hanging out with family, while some are spending it with friends and others are just chilling by themselves. But getting more specific, one user said, quote, "We had pizza just like the Pilgrims did." That's pretty funny. And in terms of what you're at home, you're most thankful for, at Gord_Way told us, a very special thanks to the two most beautiful people I know, the wife and daughter who changed my life. Well, that's just sweet. Thanksgiving also marks the unofficial start to Christmas shopping. So I know, we're not even done with this holiday and it's on to the next. But when it comes to shopping for Christmas, a number of surveys from KPMG to Consumer Reports have found that inflation will have an impact and more customers will be creating a shorter list of gifts this season. With more people shopping online this fall, Amazon Canada actually announced a new way to save in October called Prime Early Access Sale. It follows up on its popular Prime Day last month, and this two-day event actually kicks off tomorrow. The Prime Early Access Sale will begin tomorrow on October 11th, running for 48 hours in 15 countries, including Canada. The event will be similar to summer's Prime Day. Amazon's vice president says the reason for having a second deals event this year was earlier holiday shopping and the macroeconomic environment faced by customers. Jamil Ghani said in an interview, quote, "There's a desire to save and make the dollar stretch further. Member-only sales also prompt some customers to buy Prime subscriptions and shop more on Amazon." Ghani declined to offer revenue forecasts for just how much this sale would compare to Prime Day or fall's Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. And staying with this, according to the National Retail Federation, Walmart has seen customers shopping earlier this year than ever. And like Amazon, online retailers are also taking advantage of that trend.
Something that Amazon really now understands, and that's why they're starting some of these sales earlier. It allows consumers to both shop for themselves and shop for early gifts.
If you're starting your holiday shopping early, personal finance experts recommend making a list of who you're buying gifts for and decide how much you're willing to spend this holiday season. Still ahead on Trending Now. Madonna is using her TikTok to break some news to fans, and later,
I kickstart the rhythm, all the dramas in remission. No, I don't need permission. Feels so good to dance again.
Selena Gomez is marking World Mental Health Day with a glimpse into her own journey with mental health. Welcome back. Kanye West trending online again after making more controversial statements, while the Toronto Blue Jays are still trending after seeing their playoff hopes go up in flames. I think our producer Laura is still drying away the tears tonight. Here's her look at what's trending now. As a surprise to perhaps no one, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has had some of his social media accounts restricted, this time Twitter and Instagram.
Through temptations, make sure they're wide awake.
A Twitter spokesperson says West's account was locked for violating their policies, and it was in response to a post in which West claimed he was going to go, quote, DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Earlier, Instagram deleted content from West's page and placed a restriction on his account after he violated their policies as well. West had shared a screenshot of a conversation with Sean Diddy Combs where he claimed Combs is being manipulated by Jewish people. He also captioned the image, Jesus is Jew.
And everyone here knows that I am the leader.
West was also recently criticized for wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt at Paris Fashion Week. John Legend reacting on Twitter, writing, "Weird how all these free independent thinkers always land at the same old anti-blackness and anti-Semitism." Author Roxane Gay also had some thoughts, sharing in part, Kanye has shown us who he is repeatedly. Anti-Semitism is not a symptom of mental illness. He is a bigot. Madonna's latest TikTok video has people talking. In it, the legendary singer holds a pair of underwear alongside text that reads, "If I miss, I'm gay." Madonna then tosses it towards a wastebasket, misses, and gestures, "Oh well." The video comes after rumors Madonna and Dominican rapper Takesha are an item. The pair are pretty affectionate in their music video for Hung Up on Takesha and have been spotted locking lips and holding hands in recent weeks. Madonna has long been viewed as an ally of the LGBTQ+ community. During an interview back in 1991, Madonna said, quote, "I think everybody has a bisexual nature."
Who the best football player in the world, man? Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram with over 484 million followers. If that's not impressive enough for you, he's also just scored the 700th club goal of his career.
And then does what Casemiro does. He's got Ronaldo racing through. Ronaldo! There it is. Goal number 700 of his club career.
The Portugal striker came on as a substitute for Manchester United against Everton in Premier League action to put United ahead 2-1 in the 44th minute. But despite Ronaldo's insane stats, when it comes to the GOAT on the international soccer stage, that title goes to Canadian striker Christine Sinclair.
Christine Sinclair, it's 2. Here's Sinclair! No, Sinclair! Teasing ball in, and at the far post, Canada get the equaliser through Christine Sinclair!
Sinclair is the leading international goal scorer across both men and women's soccer. She has netted 190 goals over her 22-year career. Ronaldo leads the men's side with 117. From joy on the pitch to heartbreak on the baseball diamond. The Toronto Blue Jays and their players have been trending online for nearly 3 days now after a devastating loss in the wild card playoff series.
Cal the lead. Here's the pitch to the way, swinging a line drive into right field. Down the line and toward the corner, a base hit. Cal being waved around third. He'll score. Frazier in at second with a 2-out RBI double. Claps his hands, and the Mariners, for the first time in the ball game, have a 10-9 miraculous lead.
The fans at the Rogers Center were traumatized. The Jays had just watched a 7-run lead evaporate in Game 2 of the American League Wildcard Series.
Counted 1-1. Next pitch swung on a deep drive, left field, backing up. Tapia, he's looking on the track, and that is gone! A 3-run homer.
The Seattle Mariners completed an improbable comeback with a pair of 4-run innings before taking the lead in the 9th for a stunning 10-9 win. It was a gut-punching playoff loss and the end of a once promising Blue Jays season. Even author Stephen King chimed in, tweeting in part, "My goodness, what an epic squander that was." Don't go anywhere. We're discussing mental health after the break as more and more Canadians say they are struggling. Useful tips on how to cope this World Mental Health Day coming up next. Welcome back. You're watching Trending Now, and today is World Mental Health Day. This year's theme is Make Mental Health and Well-Being for All a global priority. The World Health Organization says many aspects of mental health have been challenged since the pandemic hit. Before that, an estimated 1 in 8 people globally were living with a mental disorder, and now estimates indicate both anxiety and depression rose more than 25% during the first year of the pandemic. The WHO says the services, skills, and funding for mental health remain in short supply and fall far below what is needed, especially in low and middle income countries. Someone bringing global attention to the day is Selena Gomez. She's sharing her personal journey with the trailer for her new documentary, Selena Gomez, My Mind and Me. The star has been rather candid about her struggles with mental health, revealing in 2020 that she had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The new doc spans 6 years in Gomez's life.
My whole life since I was a kid, I've been working. I don't want to be like super famous, but I do know that if I'm here, I have to use that for good.
What's holding you back from doing it?
That I'm not good enough. That's something that I've felt a lot of growing up.
Also promoting the importance of mental health is rapper Megan Thee Stallion. She has built a website for fans that lists mental health resources. The website's name comes from a verse in her song Anxiety and includes a massive list of free therapy organizations, various crisis helplines, and places to find substance abuse assistance. The site gives special attention to resources for members of marginalized communities. Last year, Megan Thee Stallion publicly talked about going to therapy after her mother died of brain cancer in 2019. And it's not just singers speaking out about prioritizing mental health today. A host of drivers from the current Formula One grid are opening up about their own challenges and how sports are not immune.
Preparing your mind is, of course, as important as preparing physically. If you don't feel good in your head, you are not going to feel good physically, you're not going to feel good in whatever you do. It's the head that decides everything.
There's this weird threshold that we are not able to overcome to talk about our feelings because we think it's a sign of weakness.
Mental health is not a joke or something to be laughed at or overlooked. There's a lot of darkness surrounding us all, and it's very easy to be pulled down by those things.
There is so much pressure, so much scrutiny. If you do a good job, everybody's there to lift you up. If you make a mistake, everyone's there to try and bring you down.
And the statistics are alarming. 32% of Canadians between the ages of 18 and 34 say they need mental health care but can't access it. Today, experts say it's time to erase stigma and raise awareness of these issues. Here are some tips on how to deal with some of the most common mental health concerns. It's being called a crisis, and many may not be getting the mental health help they need.
People, I think, are really beginning to identify that mental health is just as important to address as physical health.
Anxiety is the most commonly reported mental health issue. Psychologist Kia Ray Pruitt with the Cleveland Clinic says if you're feeling anxious, first identify what's behind it.
Is it fear about something? Is it worry? Is it based off of something bad that has happened? So I think what's important is to kind of understand what's causing the anxiety.
Then Pruitt says to take a break, think about ways you can adjust your life.
Maybe you're overcommitting yourself. Maybe you're worried about something that may never happen.
When it comes to depression, another common mental health concern, Pruitt says to be aware of the signs, which may include feeling sad or anxious often, not wanting to take part in activities you once thought were fun, feeling irritable, having trouble sleeping, and changes in appetite. If you're feeling these symptoms, talk to someone.
You don't have to be alone in the struggles.
According to an Angus Reid study, 1 in 3 Canadians say they're struggling with their mental health. Here in Canada, there are a number of resources if you are struggling with mental health. Free and confidential mental health support is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from Wellness Together Canada. You can talk to a mental health professional one-on-one by calling or texting. As well, there are supports for Indigenous peoples and youth and young adults available 24/7 too. Well, that's this edition of Trending Now. For a full update of your weekly highlights, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Trending Now CHCH. We'll also drop a podcast recapping the week every Friday on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. That's our time for tonight, but I'm sure we'll be seeing you and what's trending tomorrow.